Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Today, we bring you critical updates on the ongoing intense fighting between the Ethiopian National Defense Forces, ENDF, and Amhara Fano forces in various regions of the Amhara region. The situation is rapidly evolving, and we have received the latest reports from multiple sources detailing the current state of affairs on the ground. In Mersa and Wurgiza, situated along the A2 highway in northern Wello, the conflict has escalated significantly. ENDF is reportedly engaged in intense fighting with Amhara Fano forces. The ENDF is employing heavy weaponry, shelling the areas, leading to the closure of several roads. The gravity of the situation is underscored by the ferocity of the clashes in this strategic location. Moving to Mida and Karamesheg in northern Shua, the conflict has persisted for the last 2 days, resulting in substantial losses on both sides. The reports indicate that the fighting has been particularly fierce, with casualties being reported from both the ENDF and Amhara Fano forces. The toll of this extended engagement is a cause for concern, further emphasizing the severity of the ongoing conflict. In Kayet, specifically Debre Birhan city in northern Shua, there have been reports of gunfire exchanges. Fortunately, as of the latest updates, there are no confirmed losses. However, the situation remains tense, and the potential for further escalation cannot be ignored. In Delanta, Hamusit, Tsehai Mucha, and Anbesa Maseria in northern Wello, the mountainous areas are witnessing intense fighting. Amhara Fano forces claim victory, asserting that they have inflicted significant casualties on the ENDF, with several soldiers reported killed and wounded. The mountainous terrain adds a layer of complexity to the conflict, contributing to the challenges faced by both sides. In Vetem and Fogera, located in southern Gonda, intense fighting has occurred, resulting in substantial losses on both the Fano and ENDF sides. The toll on human lives and the impact on the local population are considerable, with the conflict leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. In Lakuma, Awobel, and Lumame, situated in eastern Gojam, a brief but intense fight occurred, resulting in the unfortunate deaths of 4 Amhara police officers and 3 Amhara militias at the hands of Fano forces. This incident highlights the volatility of the situation and the unpredictable nature of the clashes throughout the region. In Tuti and Dera, located in northern Shua, reports indicate intense fighting without confirmed losses from either side at this time. The situation in this area remains fluid, and we will closely monitor developments for any further updates. Moving to the Abala area in Gugusa Shefdad County, Awi Zone, western Gojam, a brief gunfire erupted, resulting in the unfortunate death of a local leader from the Amhara Prosperity Party. This incident underscores the broader impact of the conflict on the local leadership and the societal fabric in the region. In Dembaweha, situated near the Chenkona mountain in Armachaho, central Gonda, intense fighting has been reported with heavy losses on both sides. The toll of the conflict in this strategic location highlights the challenges faced by both the ENDF and the Amhara Fano forces in their struggle for control. Ajeri and Janora, located in northern Gonda, witnessed intense fighting, leading to losses on both sides. The reports underscore the widespread nature of the conflict, affecting various communities and areas across the region. Arbet and Hormat in Kobo City, northern Wello, experienced a brief but intense fight with heavy weaponry between Fano forces and ENDF soldiers. The clash emphasizes the dynamic and unpredictable nature of the conflict, with both sides employing significant force. In Seladingay, northern Shua, a prolonged 7-hour intense battle unfolded, resulting in the unfortunate deaths of 30 ENDF soldiers. The extended duration of the fighting reflects the gravity of the situation and the challenges faced by the forces involved. Tragically, in Meshenti, northern Gojam, ENDF soldiers were reported to have committed an atrocity with the murder of 10 Amhara civilians. Such incidents underscore the severe humanitarian impact of the conflict, with innocent civilians becoming victims of the violence. Similarly, in Chele, Minjar, northern Shua, ENDF shelling resulted in the tragic loss of 9 Amhara civilians. This highlights the broader consequences of the conflict, with civilian populations bearing the brunt of the violence. In Bistima, southern Wello, drone attacks reportedly carried out by forces aligned with Abiy resulted in the tragic deaths of 2 Amhara civilians, who were farmers working on their fields. The use of drones in such confrontations amplifies the vulnerability of civilian populations caught in the crossfire. Moving to District 3, Mersa, northern Wello, a distressing incident unfolded where Amhara militias targeted and killed Molla Awayu, an Amhara civilian, due to his familial association with Fano members. This incident highlights the deeply personal and tragic consequences of the ongoing conflict, where individuals are targeted based on their affiliations. In Este, Mekane Ayesus, southern Gonda, ENDF soldiers reportedly murdered 2 Amhara civilians, including Yehones Alamu. The circumstances surrounding these deaths remain unclear, adding to the complexity of the conflict in this region. Tragedy struck again in Kataka, Krome Haga, Na Golagoi, Bulga, northern Shua, where ENDF soldiers were responsible for the deaths of 4 Amhara civilians, a woman, 2 children, and an elderly man. The loss of innocent lives underscores the gravity of the situation in this particular district. In Tebela, Vegedi, Western Wello, a 14-year-old lost their life due to shelling, further highlighting the devastating impact of the conflict on vulnerable populations, including children. Wugesa, northern Wello, witnessed ENDF shelling, resulting in the deaths of 3 Amhara civilians, further emphasizing the indiscriminate nature of the violence affecting local communities. In Wetam, Fogera, southern Gonda, 3 civilians, a woman and 2 men, lost their lives in the crossfire, reflecting the broader impact on diverse demographics within the region. The Beltat district in Este, southern Gonda, experienced a horrific incident where ENDF soldiers reportedly abducted and brutally murdered 2 Amhara civilians, Desi Asmar, a 10th 8th grade student, and Amlaku Whale, a university student, after subjecting them to torture at their camp. This shocking act of violence raises serious concerns about human rights abuses in the conflict. Lastly, in Mintaweha, Awi Zone, Western Gojam, 3 Amhara civilians fell victim to violence allegedly perpetrated by Gumu's forces. This incident adds another layer of complexity to the multifaceted conflict involving various ethnic groups.